All right, obviously coming off the bye here, and it's been a good couple of weeks of practice. Obviously, the guys are excited about getting a chance to play a game, playing a really good Notre Dame team who, obviously went on the road and won in a really tough building, and a ton of respect for their program. We had just played them recently, and I think you look at the talent they have up front, especially that top line and the depth throughout, and they're getting good goaltending and really good on the power play. So it'll be a really good test for us. Happy we get to play another game at Munn, and our fans have been awesome. It's been packed, it's been loud, and have been a big factor in the season we've had, and looking forward to a Saturday night.
Curious, when you go from having a week off, you play 2 series, then you have another week off. What are the sort of challenges that you guys have to face this week to get ready for this weekend?
Yeah, I think the schedule is what it is, and you earn the bye, and so now you just, fortunately our guys love being at the rink and love practicing, and it is challenging. I think today was our 101st practice of the year, right? So you're spending a lot of time, and the way we practice is, it's intense, but I think that's how you help guys get better. So our guys are into practice and just trying to take advantage of it and keep refining being us. And every time we get to whether play a game or practice, it's an opportunity to do that. And I thought we have. We still got a couple more practices to be ready to go on the weekend.
Coach, the first time you guys saw Notre Dame, they had been switching out goalies. Now kind of seems like Owen Say is their go-to guy. Just curious what you kind of saw from him in South Bend, and if you got a chance to watch any of that series against Minnesota, just how he's been playing as a very young goaltender.
Yeah, no, a really good goalie, and I thought he played well against us. I thought that first game was probably closer than the score, right? That it ended up 5. Both games were 5-2, but it was closer, and the other guy went in the net the next night, and so looks like he's kind of grabbed the net here, and obviously to go into Mariucci and play the way he did, and obviously this time of the year, when you're playing good teams, all good teams have good goalies, right? So we're gonna have definitely work to create chances, and they do a good job in front of them too. I thought they did a good job in that series of making it hard to get to the inside, and that's what Coach Jackson's teams always do.
Coach, can you just talk about this past weekend? Pretty exciting time. You were there in Iowa with Coach Izzo and the basketball team, and then this past weekend, the celebration after the win, and you guys were there with the basketball team. Did you know that was going to happen at the end there with the teams combining, and just the continued growth between you and Coach Izzo and the teams? Just talk about that.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Wanted to get a chance. I don't get to travel and see games on the road, so to see him go on the road and even to be invited to be a part of it, right? He doesn't have to do that, and to go out there and support the team and see him trying to win in a tough environment, and that was really, really cool to see. And then that was Coach Izzo's idea to have our team come out, and I ton of respect for him. It'd be real easy in his position, right? He's about as high profile as a coach as you can get. It doesn't, I think if you look at just even all-time coaches in any sport at any level, Tom's in that conversation, and for him to include us and support our program, and means a lot to our guys. And you flip it, his guys come to our games too, and right, they're wearing hockey jerseys in the Munsters and the student section, and that doesn't happen at many places, especially when you're talking about the profile of Coach, and he really understands that it's about the whole university, and his impact on our community is unbelievable. He is Michigan State, and so for our guys, they take great pride that Coach follows our team, supports our team, helps me grow as a coach, and it's been a great friendship. I feel super fortunate, and I'm excited to watch them go on a run here.
How have you grown as a coach with Coach Izzo and talking to him and seeing what he's been able to do?
Well, I think you look at you couldn't get a better image of what it means to have a great program, right? From, how they recruit. They're not into promises and guarantees. How he coaches his guys, he's honest, holds them accountable, but the guys really respect him. I think I've grown a ton just watching him, and then, he pretty much calls me before every game, and again, his coaching doesn't matter the sport, and you're managing people and the age of our guys and the amount of noise they have in their life, and juggling school and social life and all those things, and obviously this experience here, no one's done it better at the college level, so to have him as a resource, not just for me but all of our coaches, is invaluable.
With it being one and done time now, what is it about this group that allows them to be ready for those moments that are maybe a little more high tense, with knowing you're out of the tournament a few days?
Well, I think this group's, fortunately we've played in a lot of big games. If you go back to, we had an opportunity to play for the GLI championship, and that's a big deal for our program, and the Wrigley game, to go there in that type of stage and have the amount of support we had there from alumni, to find a way to win that game, to the duel in the D. I mean, that's a unbelievable event, and playing a really good team, and to get that done, to know we had to win 2 games on the road and to give ourselves a chance to win the conference was. I go back to last year, it came down to us in Wisconsin. We had to go on the road and play them, and the winner wins the conference. So I think these guys have played in a lot of big games, and I think as far as confidence too, I think it all goes back to your preparation, right? And these guys have committed a lot. They got here July 1st. They made great strides in the weight room, great strides on the ice. Made really good decisions, sacrificed a lot, given up a lot of what college students get to do, because their goal is to be the last team standing. We got a lot of work to do that, but I think our guys should come in with a ton of confidence, but also respecting who you're playing, right? I think that you look at again what Notre Dame did. That's a really tough building to play in, to go on the road and win 2 out of 3, and you knew that Coach Jackson's team would be ready, and we got to be ready for sure on Saturday.
This time of year is always about the team, but individual awards are coming up. The Hobie Top 10, I think, is this weekend. It seems like Isaac Howard's a shoe-in for that, but Trey Augustine is sort of on the bubble there, and I'm curious if you could maybe articulate just how important he's been to this team's success this season.
Yeah, I mean, he's a huge piece of it, right? And I think any good team has a good goalie, right? And so Trey's job is to stop the puck, and our job is to be great in front of him. And I think there's been a combination of those two. I think we've done a good job in front of him, and when there are breakdowns, he's got an ability to make a big save, and especially at critical times. I think you can look at that's where. If I had to pick a goalie to be our goalie in college hockey, he'd be the first guy I'd pick. If you look at his stats, it doesn't say that, but I think his ability to elevate when the game's on the line, you look how he plays, in the third period or when the game's tight, he seems to find another level. So, yeah, he's definitely a huge piece of our team, and I think him and Luca's relationship, I give Luca a ton of credit too. He stepped in and went 7-0, and when Trey was gone at World Juniors, and to go and beat a really good Western Michigan team, to go and sweep Wisconsin and play at Wrigley. So when you look at the end winning a championship, Luca's fingerprints are on this as well.
Coach, I wanted to ask, obviously, throughout the season, it's been talked about just the depth scoring from anywhere on your lineup, any given night. But I wanted to ask you, some of the guys seem to have really stepped up their game playing off the puck, who might not always find the score sheet, but their play's always been really consistent. Shane, Tommy, Joey, just a few of the names that kind of come to mind. Kind of wondered what your thoughts were on that and how they've progressed on that part of their play.
Yeah, I think the whole group's done a good job, right? That's a goal coming in the season, right? You got young hockey players, you got to help them. Obviously, all of them get excited about with the puck, and but all of them dream about playing at the next level, and you got to be great away from the puck. So you can impact the game even when you're not scoring. And you look at our depth. I think you can just look at the stats and say, geez, we got a lot of depth where guys score. But I also think we have a lot of depth in guys that play the game the right way. And so I think. One, it takes guys buying into the team. How can I help the team and put the team first and believe that if you're great away from the puck, the offense will come. And I think you saw that with Shane, right? He's obviously scored 2 big goals there for us down in South Bend, and but he's been doing a lot of really good things away from the puck. We're using him on the penalty kill. He does a good job on the power play. Tommy, you know what you're going to get every night, right? You leave the rink, I think a fan or a scout or whoever, while you're watching our team play, you remember number 10 playing every single game, right? And so I think that says a lot about how he plays the game. So overall, the depth, yes, we've had it in scoring, but also the depth away from the puck has been great.
Coach, can you just talk about Coach Jackson and obviously the relationship he has with this university and what it's been like coaching against him, playing against him, and just what you've learned from him as well?
Yeah, known him a long time, back to when I was a young hockey player, right? And he was coaching Lake Superior, and what he did at that program, what he did in that community, the respect that the people that have for him up there, and really putting them on the map. And, again, as a young player dreaming about playing college hockey, seeing how his teams played like a team, I think that was always evident to my brothers and I. Like, you would go and watch them, and it wasn't about one guy. It wasn't about showboating. It was about, playing hard, playing as a team, winning with class. And they've always done that, and he's done that at Notre Dame, right? He took that program over and built it to what it is now. And what he did for USA Hockey, I obviously got a chance to coach at the national team. Had Jeff not, taken a leap of faith to take that job originally, but not only that, is lay the foundation of what that place is all about, and represent your country and the privilege that is. And You know, I think he's going to go down as one of the greatest all time to coach the game. And ton of respect for him. He's a humble guy too. I like that about him. It's not telling everyone how smart he is. I know he's got a ton of appreciation and respect for Michigan State, him being an alumni here. And my older brother, you know, really got his chance. He, you know, works in Buffalo now, but, you know, worked for him at Notre Dame and helped him grow. And so, yeah, ton of respect for him and definitely be missed.
This is super off the wall, and I apologize, but Tom called you. I think he said you'd be a heck of a Yooper, which for him is a pretty high regard. And I'm curious, being from Sheboygan, I know that's in the Lower Peninsula, but you played at Lake State, have some ties with the UP. Do you feel like a Yooper yourself, or?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, no, I do. I mean, I moved away from home my junior and senior year of high school and lived in Marquette. And then I played 2 years of juniors in the Sioux, so that's 4 years, and then 2 years at Lake Superior. So 6 years from the age of, and I played Bantam hockey in the Sioux actually, so probably 7 years from 15 to whatever, really formative years. And, you know, I think what I like most about, and I get back to the Sioux in the summer, I get back to Marquette, I'm still in contact with my billet families, and, you know, it's always just about the people there, right? And they're down to earth. It's no nonsense. Your word's got to be what it is, and I think that's. I feel thankful to grow up in a small town because you know you got to treat people the right way, and if you don't, you get sniffed out pretty quick. It's not like in a big city where you can act however you want and no one will remember. And I think that those roots have helped me as a coach, you know. But yeah, I if they'd take me, I would consider myself a Yooper.
Earlier, I asked you what Coach Izzo meant to you in the program. What do you think? What do you hope Coach Izzo takes out of what you're doing here with the program?
Well, I mean, I think he, you know, trying to emulate what they've done, right? And I think he's made it about the university, it's not about him. And you know, I think there's a respect for. He sees how hard our guys work. You know, he's a walker, so he walks by our offices and our weight rooms. Obviously, you can see it and sees how hard our guys work and committed. And I think there's a mutual respect between our players of, you know, what it takes to win a championship, right? That just doesn't happen. It takes a lot of sacrifice. I mean, I look at their team, you know, they got to be the only team in the country that has a rotation like that, and that just doesn't happen. Guys got to buy in. And I'm, you know, when I was in Iowa watching the game, just seeing guys come on and off the court, no bad body language. They, you know, give a guy a slap, hey, you know, go get him, I'll be ready. And coach would throw the next guy in, he's ready to go. And so I think he respects that about our team. I think we're very similar to their team, where for us to be good, we gotta play team hockey, you know. And so I think, you know, just like I don't know the ins and outs of basketball, he doesn't know the ins and outs of hockey. But I think if you watch both of our teams play and you're not an expert, it's pretty obvious that we both play as a team. Good. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.